Welcome to our executive interview series at the UiPath on Tour Public Sector Summit produced by FedScoop. I'm Wyatt Cash, and we're here with Ashley Elizabeth Evans, Director of Data and Digital Transformation in the Office of the Assistant Secretary of the Navy for Financial Management and Controller. Ashley, thank you so much for joining us. So, Ashley, I'd like to start by asking, what are the most significant cultural or organizational shifts required to integrate and scale automation initiatives within government agencies and the Department of Navy generally?
First, I think that automation provides an incredible opportunity for our workforce, but it oftentimes might be scary and might be seen as a threat. It obviously is talked about as providing efficiency and eliminating work hours for our human workforce, which is incredibly important in the arena that we're in right now, where we have less resources and more work. And I think it is so important for us to see this as an opportunity, not a threat. I loved some of the discussion earlier today at the UiPath on Tour event, where we're talking about bots and agentic automation as if it is a colleague. It is a persona that performs parts of a process that we should be designing around. At the Department of Navy, we're doing just that. As I look ahead to one side of my portfolio where we are determining requirements for the next generation Navy ERP, we are designing the future state processes, and we are designing with automation in mind. And agents will be a persona that may actually perform an entire process step, maybe supplementing a step, but having that in mind up front so we can design the system with that in mind is incredibly important as we train the entire workforce on how to do this, but also make sure that we take the opportunity to learn from everything that we have come from in terms of our data maturity journey, our automation journey, and start to embed that in the future state design of our foundational systems.
And then next, can you kind of talk about the key differences that you see between what I'll call sort of traditional RPA and this newer evolution of agentic automation? And how do you see them working together within a modern enterprise environment?
Sure. So traditional robotic process automation, I think of as just rules-based, repetitive tasks that are automated. Oftentimes, the real value add was being able to automate that across applications. So if a human used to have to reconcile data or transactions across two separate systems that didn't talk to each other well, and it was fairly repetitive and rules-based, that was something that traditional RPA could handle. With the advent of AI, we are starting to sophisticate the type of automation that we are able to take on. And so one thing that we've done at the Department of Navy, even before all this talk about agentic AI and agentic automation, is a use case called humanless unmatched transactions, which is essentially an RPA bot that is paired with a continuously trained machine learning model that is trained on our data to detect unmatched transactions, which are essentially payment transactions that don't tie to our obligations, and suggest what might be the right matching transaction and suggest the actual reconciling corrective action to take. So I love that use case. It's a few years old now, but it provides inspiration for how machine learning and AI can be paired with an automation to actually suggest actions. As we're starting to talk about agentic AI and agentic automation, we're talking about taking something like that further to not just identify something that needs correction, but then to actually take the action. And yes, there needs to be appropriate controls around that, just like there are controls around humans who need to make corrections. But it's an incredibly exciting time to take things like that off of our plate so we can scale and get to things like a clean audit opinion faster, because simply there's too many corrections for our human workforce to take on. I'm imagining a world where there is a program running in the background to continuously scan our spend transactions and identify perhaps improper use of funds or improper capture of a transaction, identify it in real time, draft a corrective action memo, and route it for signature, all in the background before a human may actually notice it. Imagine the amount of work hours that would take off of our workforce. So if we're able to do things like that and actually design with that in mind, I think our future is incredibly bright, and I'm so excited about what agentic automation will offer us in the next couple of years.
It's a great illustration. Well, Ashley Elizabeth Evans, thank you so much for joining us here and sharing some of your insights and sort of your vision for how AI and agentics will evolve here at the UiPath on Tour Summit.
Thank you for having me.